Tao, what an absolute pleasure. I wrote about you 2 years ago. I just wrote a whole blog piece, and what an absolute inspiration you are to me and to so many people. How do you feel about that? Are you aware of what you do?
No, I'm afraid I'm not too much aware. I mean, I want to practice what I preach. What I feel inside of me, I want to make people realize that within us is the possibility to do everything. We don't have to pray to something out in space. It's right here with every beat of my heart.
Wow, that's
It's
beautiful.
proving that I'm there to help you.
When did that belief come about for you?
Yes, a long, long time ago. Well, my uncle's very funny, and I was about 8 years old, and I was to my aunt, I was listening to the grass grow, and she said to my uncle, I think she's a little cookie, you know? And he said, no, she's not, because even that blade of grass has the energy, otherwise it couldn't push through the soil.
Absolutely.
And so I feel that whatever I'm doing, that this energy is there for a reason, and it's in all of us. My uncle is very well liked everywhere, and in fact that's where I first met Mahatma Gandhi.
Oh wow.
And I saw a little man on the floor with glasses. I wondered who he was, and they shushed me out of the room. But 3 weeks later, my uncle said, put together no fancy clothes, just extra underwear and things, and don't say anything to her, and because she'll say it's dangerous. I said, why? He said, never mind, we're going on a long trip. And so I marched with Gandhi. It's something that is as real today as it was. Whenever I think about it, is as real today as it was then.
Wow.
The message of Gandhi will live forever.
Absolutely. I mean, he's an absolute icon, and people really kind of.
It's
Yeah.
true. And we need it in this world.
How do you feel about the world today compared to how you grew up? It's so different.
Yes, it is. But you know, there's a lot of good here. The thing is to tune in, not to what is happening around you, but what is happening inside of you. And if you wake up in the morning and say, don't let your mind think about all the things you can't do or how you're going to do it. You say, this is going to be the best day of my life, and you will materialize that. And one lady in Seattle, Washington, she came all the way up. She said, you know something, Tao? You prevented me from committing suicide.
Wow.
And she said, in all my rooms I have your message. If I walk in one room and the other, I see a message on the wall.
Wow.
And Tao says, this is going to be the best day of my life.
How do you remain so positive? Where does that energy, where does that positivity come from?
When I look all around me and I see the beauty of nature, then I find that it's in nature, and it's within me.
Yeah.
And actually that's what we're trying to bring about, the beauty of life. And this place is so much exactly what I'm thinking about.
Yes.
Well, I look always for the good. I never look for anything outside of that.
Wow.
I'm always impressed with what people have done in the world and what we can do. And if I can't find the answer there, then I look to animals and I look to nature.
Animals.
Yes.
That's one of my favourite subjects. I'm very
Exactly.
passionate about animals. So as part of apathy and 8 model psychology, we're really passionate about animal welfare and conservation of the planet.
Well, I'm 100% for that.
Yes.
I work with the Bronx Zoo,
Wow.
all the animals there, even to a wonderful giraffe that's so tall and so sweet, and come down and I fed it,
Oh,
and it
lovely.
looked at me like so with such beauty. Then went all the way up to see and came down again and looked me in the eye. Are you going to give me another? There are animals that never kill each other.
Yeah.
They never hurt each other.
I know.
And I'm so horrified with what's happening in the world, where they've killed off all the elephants and all the rhinoceros,
I know.
taking all the things. Now they're working on the legs of the giraffe.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's horrible.
It is.
How can people be so cruel?
It keeps me awake at night, actually, if I'm honest. It really worries me, and I just don't know how anyone can inflict that pain and suffering on another living thing.
I think what we should do when we find those kind of people, we should do what they did to the animal,
Yeah.
to them,
Yeah. See how it feels.
and let them go out into the world.
Yeah. What
And
suffering
feel what
is.
it's like.
It's so hard when you feel so in love and connected with animals, and you can see their pain and suffering.
Yes.
And I think some people don't have that connection. They can't see it.
It's scary, and there's so much to do in this world, and we're actually messing it up.
Yeah.
We're messing up the skies with too many planes, so the atmosphere is being affected.
Yeah.
With all of the, the smell of gasoline and and also it's in everything that we're doing now. You see, this we can't do, that you can't do. I'm not interested in what I can't do. I'm interested in what we can
That's
do.
perfect. Yeah, so we're interested in kind of going forward and making a change, making a
If you believe in
difference.
something, do it. Don't sit there and say, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, do it
Tomorrow
today.
tomorrow never comes. 1 minute after midnight is
Yes.
already today.
Yeah.
Only 1 minute.
I'm sure you've been asked about this so many times, so I'm sorry for asking the same question, but your passion and your love for yoga, where did that come from? And I mean, you've continued to practice through your whole life, so what does it mean to you?
I think it was because of my uncle. He designed around the world more trains, railways, to bring people together. He said if people got to know each other better. And he always said never look down on anybody. Even to a farmer may be illiterate, but you're illiterate of the soil. So
true. We don't know everything.
yes.
Yeah.
So whatever I had to do in my life, he never let me take the negative side of it. Never let me put too much on my plate. He'd grabbed hold of me one day on my plate that I'd left something on it, took me outside to where some servants' children were playing. He said, now you see, you're going to throw that away, and they've never tasted it. So he said, only put on your plate what there are too many people starving in the world, too many children starving, and we haven't brought them into this world to kill them off. They were in this world to help each other. I met some children, some boys, and I thought they were doing a new game, but they weren't. They were, and my aunt said, that's not a game, that's yoga, and it's not for girls, it's not ladylike.
That's a challenge if ever I heard one.
The boys can do it, I can do it. So, but that was just ordinary, the first glimpse of yoga. But I've done yoga, and eventually it really came into being strongly in Hollywood at MGM. Indra Devi, who had marched with me with Gandhi, she had also I was one of 400 people that went to Israel, Yoga for Peace.
Oh, wow.
And she was there, and she came to Hollywood, and she said to me, Tao, what are you doing? Why
That's
are
a
you
good
not
accent.
teaching? Yes, why are you not teaching yoga? Why are you in films? I said, because I don't think I'm good enough. At that moment, Debbie Reynolds, who just died,
Wow.
and Catherine Grayson from Showboat, all asked me if I would teach them.
Oh my goodness.
And so I decided that even though I'd been going back to India just to do yoga for myself and see my friends and make a couple of films, that was now time to go and learn to teach so that I didn't hurt anybody.
Yes.
And so I went to see Iyengar. And when I saw Iyengar, I said, I want to teach. He said, I don't take women. So I said, you're a snob.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like that and he said, all right. So I was 17 years
Oh,
there,
wow.
and I go back. I was learning placement. He was wonderful for placement of the feet, how you moved into postures.
Right.
And then I felt that something else was missing in my yoga. So I went to see a friend of my uncle's, the Maharaja of Mysore, and I said, I understand there's a wonderful man here, Tao Porchon-Lynch, and he works on breathing. And he said, you're on the right path, Tao. He's the best teacher of all.
Wow.
Because he's working from inside of you, not just showing it outside,
Great.
inside of you. So I started with Tao Porchon-Lynch and learned really the road of breathing.
That's so brilliant.
About the chakras, the vortexes of energy, not how to do. That's not breathing, that's not even opening my heart. Breathing is to come up like a flower comes up and opens up. Same thing inside of it. So I worked with him, and that changed my whole idea of what I was actually doing, teaching yoga, and what yoga really meant.
It's so interesting that you say it's from the inside, because I think we're really bombarded today with people who want to look good and they're wearing their nice clothes, but actually it's not just that, is it? It's much more than that. It comes from an internal passion.
That's exactly the best translation of what I believe in. That's exactly. It isn't showplace. It's inner self, working inside of you. And if there is a way of thinking of it, here in winter, when it snows and it's icy, then suddenly a little flower comes out. Now, in English, they call it a snowdrop. But I like the French interpretation more. They call it a perce-neige, to pierce the snow. And it comes up through the icy snow. It's so fragile if you do that little brick, and yet it manages to go through the ice and comes up, and then it expands out.
We can't ignore the fact that you are 99 years old.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons that I think so many people are inspired by you. It's like you have an elixir for life that some of us lack and we just don't have access to. But what is your secret? Why do you think that you still have this energy and vivaciousness for living?
When I listen to my own heartbeat, it's inside of me. If I'm sitting like that, it can't be squashed.
So perfect.
When I breathe in the eternal God. I don't want to pray to something out in space. And every time I listen to my own heartbeat, I'm aware that right inside of me is the essence of the Lord of creation. But don't spend your time thinking about what you can't do, because you'll materialize that. I want to materialize only the things that will take me on this journey. Don't spend your time thinking what you can't do. There's no such verb to can or cannot. You can fruit and vegetables. The verb is to experience that oneness and know that within you is all the power. It's right there. And it's the door, not you.
That's so perfect. What a perfect place to end. I'm so grateful. You're such an inspiration. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that we're just going to learn even more if we possibly can from you today. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I hope
really
it
grateful.
helps you.
Really grateful. Thank you.